Are you ready for the electric car era? It could be just around the corner. Two battery-powered cars that cost less than 40 grand and can drive as far as 200 miles could hit the market as early as 2017. But is it enough to turn the electric car mainstream? The WSJ's Mike Ramsey is here to tell us more. Mike, thanks for being here. Tell us a little bit more about some of these products that are expected to hit the market in 2017.
Well, the best known is Tesla's Model 3, which is for a long time, it was called the Gen 3 electric vehicle. And this is Tesla's aim at a mass market electric car. And they announced it last year that they were going to come out in early 2017 with this vehicle. And this is also the impetus behind building their massive Gigafactory, which has been in the news quite a bit. Because they need to build that factory, they say, in order to drive down the price of the battery low enough that they could actually sell a car that gets 200 miles of range and costs around $35,000 to start. And widely in the battery industry and in the auto industry, there's a lot of skeptics that said, I don't think you can actually lower the price enough because the size of battery required is very expensive to get 200 miles of range. That said, I spoke with someone at LG Chem, the CEO of their US-based research arm, and he said they're quite confident that they will produce a similar 200-mile range, $30,000 to $35,000 electric vehicle in partnership with an automaker to come out in 2017. So it shows that not only is Tesla's belief that they can get there right, but other automakers see that they're going to do it as well. And that's really a strong threshold for adoption because 200 miles range really makes it a car that you could use every day.
Now, LG isn't saying what automaker they're going to partner with. You guys have a pretty strong inclination that it's going to be General Motors. Why do you think that they're eyeing this market?
Well, it's almost funny because GM has been one of the earlier movers in electric vehicles. The Volt is the best known, but they also have Chevy Spark, which is actually a very popular small electric vehicle sold mostly on the West Coast. Dan Akerson, the previous CEO last year, said that they were working on a 200-mile range, $30,000 electric vehicle. Wasn't much. He wasn't supposed to make that announcement, actually, so GM kind of buried it, and they haven't really acknowledged it since then. But I spoke with some people on background at GM. They say that project's still underway. They won't confirm it's LG, but LG is their battery supplier for the Volt, and it's not hard to put two and two together. LG is also working with another automaker. There's other people interested in this technology, and they're a very large battery maker capable of supplying probably more than one auto company.
Now, right now, the Tesla Model S is the only electric car that has this 200-mile radius. As you point out in your story, it sells for about $71,000. That's a pretty pricey auto. How much bigger does the market get if we're talking about a car that costs $35,000?
Well, it's hard to say, but you have to, even at $35,000, if you got a 200-mile range vehicle, you would assume that you would, Tesla's assumption is that their sales will triple or quadruple with their vehicle, and if you spread that out over a number of automakers, I think that the idea is that you would go from less than 1% of the total auto market to something more like 2 to 3 or 4% of the total market, which doesn't sound like very much, but it's actually in pure numbers. We're talking about, hundreds of thousands of vehicles, even up to 1 million vehicles a year, that could over time has a substantial impact on, behaviors, consumer use, infrastructure, electricity demands. There's all kinds of things that can start to happen when you have that many vehicles on the road. And if getting the price down is really achievable, you might start to see a broader adoption by car companies and consumers.
All right, we'll see if this all works out on the 2017 timeline. Mike Ramsey, thanks for joining us.